over El Salvador, Panama is introducing a bill to regulate the use of cryptocurrencies throughout the country. The bill, presented by opposition Congressman Gabriel Silva Tuesday night, proposes that individuals or legal entities in Panama may freely agree to use cryptocurrency as a means of payment for any civil or commercial operation not prohibited by the legal system. It also proposes that taxes, fees, and other tax obligations may be paid using cryptocurrency. And joining us now to discuss is Congressman Gabriel Silva himself and Felipe Echandi, entrepreneur and crypto bill drafting team lead in Panama. Welcome, Congressman and Felipe, to the show. So, straight from the horse's mouth, I would love to hear more about this bill.
Of course, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to me to share this with the audience. Hi, Felipe, good to see you again. It's been a quite interesting days for us here in Panama. And yes, I think this is historic for our republic, for our small country. Panama has always been a country of services. People might know that in Panama we have the Panama Canal. There's the second largest duty-free zone in the world. There's a strong financial services center, a strong legal services center. But Panama has to look ahead and to look to the future. And that means getting into blockchain technology, getting into cryptocurrency, and getting into crypto assets in general. So this is the first proposal, robust proposal that has been presented in Parliament, considering all aspects. Felipe Echandi, who's here with me, has been the lead team member who has helped us put all of this into words and presented it in Congress just yesterday. And it's a groundbreaking proposal because, first of all, it looks and it seeks to provide legal, regulatory, and fiscal certainty to the use, holding, influence of digital value and crypto assets in Panama. It creates a regulatory framework that promotes banking interoperability to foster greater financial inclusion. And also, it goes beyond that, also in promoting that the government uses the blockchain technology for improving their internal processes, government efficiency, and government transparency. So we hope this bill will put Panama in the center of Americas. I know that other countries in the region, such as El Salvador, have already passed similar laws in this aspect. But I think that our law is in some way even better since it goes further certain coins or or cryptocurrency. It considers crypto assets. It considers the blockchain technology. So it's a little bit more ambitious. And what we're trying to do here is to attract companies that are focused in cryptocurrency and crypto assets, to attract investments in Panama and create jobs jobs for the future of our country. Felipe might develop the project a little bit more.
Right. Felipe, tell us a bit about the similarities and differences in this bill compared to the one in El Salvador. And you had a hand in drafting this bill, so tell us the details.
Certainly. Well, contrary to El Salvador, we are a country that has a constitution where legal tender is prohibited. Panama has never had a legal tender. Panama doesn't have a central bank. So therefore, it is incompatible with our constitution to demand and force individuals or businesses to accept any specific sort of payment. However, we believe this is an advantage because it makes us inherently open to the world, inherently open to the future, and compatible with any technology that comes. And may the best be the one that is adopted by individuals. So that's a key difference from El Salvador. We are not making crypto, Bitcoin, Ethereum, any particular token mandatory. The second point is we go further. We see our country, and we believe countries that will treat their citizens in a way that's compatible with the future are the ones who are going to survive and remain viable. So we believe that Panama has all the potential to shift from something more similar to a DAO-based country. If we make countries more transparent, if we digitize identity radically, and if we allow people to establish confidence with smart contracts in addition to the traditional means they do today, we might be able to have a new sort of governance, a new sort of country. And the objective of this project is to create a groundbreaking ecosystem that allows not only certainty for the assets themselves, but certainty for the innovators, certainty for the platforms that wish to establish here, and a competitive tax treatment that is compatible with Panama's traditionally also competitive territorial tax system. So people can physically move here and build the future for the rest of humanity from the sunny beaches and rainforests of Panama.
Right. There are some challenges, though. We did see the Bitcoin law rollout in El Salvador yesterday. It was met with protests, technical glitches, and a price crash. So not everybody was happy about it. And meanwhile, the IMF is saying that it's very skeptical about the Bitcoin experiment. And many governments are also having a skeptical eye, as well as ratings agencies. Is that a concern of yours?
Thank you. I think it's a very interesting question. I think, as Felipe mentioned, there are very fundamental differences from our law than from El Salvador's. For instance, we are not imposing any type of particular coin. What we're seeking is something that actually many international organizations already recommend, that is to regulate cryptocurrencies. We aren't creating a fund like El Salvador is doing. We're not putting one mandatory coin like El Salvador is doing. We're not imposing or proposing a government wallet like El Salvador is doing. What we're seeking is to provide a legal framework to give the possibility, the option that citizens pay their products and their services with cryptocurrencies in general. So it's a bit different from what El Salvador has doing, which is why I believe that if this proposal becomes law, maybe the internal setback from the population would be less. Actually, I see a very strong support from the citizens, because the opposition that we might see are maybe from traditional financial institutions, but for the population, this is a very important project because it also gives them financial freedom in two ways. First, in Panama, more than 50% of the population does not have an account, and giving them this possibility would obviously give them access to transfer money, to buy products and buy services that they couldn't afford without a bank account. So I think that there's a strong support from the citizen, from the population, for the approved bill. We're not imposing one single coin, which I know in Salvador that has been a very strong opposition by some people. But I also, and this might be a political message, I would challenge, from what I've seen in El Salvador, how many people are really opposing this? Because from the pictures that I've seen, the videos that I've seen, it seems a political attack from what is happening in El Salvador. So I have my doubts if it's really a strong opposition in El Salvador for what's actually going on there. But I don't know if Felipe might want to expand on that as well.
So certainly. I mean, we have been a country that has served the rest of the world. In our national coat of arms, you see a motto in Latin that says Pro Mundi Beneficio, that means for the benefit of the world. And we believe we just have to transform in a way that allows us to keep doing that for the benefit of the future of humanity. And that has to be future-proofed, has to be open to every type of technology. We've been following very closely, for example, the discussions on the infrastructure bill in the US, and we have tried to include the most competitive provisions to give certainty to innovators, not only in the holding and management of crypto, but also in DeFi, smart contracts, DAOs, and some other sorts of establishment of trust and experiments that are happening right now before our eyes. So I'm super excited. Hopefully, if this becomes law, which we're very hopeful that will be the case, we will attract a ton of people, and hopefully you'll get to meet our little part of the world and help us build the future of humanity from here.
Speaking of which, would you advocate or foresee a government-run wallet like El Salvador's Chiva wallet? And secondly, you've alluded to this, but as an opposition politician, Congressman, how much support does this proposed bill really have?
I will answer the second one. I think the first one, Felipe might develop it a little bit more. Yes, I'm an independent member of parliament, considered opposition, but several things I think we should consider. First is that when I presented the law, I had as co-signatures or co-sponsors of the law members of parliament from all the different political parties, from the ruling party and from opposing political parties. So there are members of parliament here in Panama from all the political parties that have realized that this is important. They have co-sponsored the bill with me together. That's the first thing. The second thing is that we have already had preliminary talks with government officials from the executive branch, from different institutions. We have told them about the project. They know about the project already because we proposed it yesterday, have reached out to us. So there is certain openness from them and possibility from them to engage in a constructive dialogue and a constructive collaboration to build up on the project. I'm a opposition candidate. I'm an opposition member of parliament, but I have good relations with the executive branch, especially for important projects. I think that it is possible to build bridges and make them law. And the third important point is what I already mentioned, is that the community in Panama, the cryptocurrency community in Panama, the Bitcoin community in Panama is very strong, it's very active, it's very big. I think that's going to be key in approving this law. If they get involved, as they have been, if they in social media or in Parliament they come and they see this bill, I think it will be very possible to have this approved as soon as possible. So I think definitely, I'm a opposition candidate, I'm a opposition member of Parliament. That makes it a little bit more challenging, but we have already talked with the executive branch, members of Parliament from the other side of the table, and the community is very strong and wants a very important part of the community wants the project. So I think it will move ahead fastly.